Number Polaris owners are going broke. 4 hidden failures. You see them on every trail. Polaris Sportsman's, Polaris Scramblers, the best-selling ATV brand in America. The machines that everyone seems to own. But look closer. Look at the classifieds. Look at the parting out ads. Look at the forums where owners go to cry for help. Polaris owners are going broke. Not because the machines are expensive to buy, because they're expensive to keep. The failures are hidden. The costs are recurring. And the manufacturer has designed a system where you either pay the dealer or you pay with your time. Today, I'm naming 4 hidden failures that are bankrupting Polaris owners. If you own a Polaris, this could save you thousands. If you're thinking about buying one, this might change your mind. Let's start with the failure that shows up in every single forum. Chaku, hidden failure. 1. The CVT belt that destroys itself. Every Polaris owner learns this lesson eventually. The CVT belt fails, not at 5,000 miles, not at 3,000, sometimes at 1,000, sometimes at 500. Here's what happens. Polaris officially states that __quote _1 __. The belt overheats, the rubber glazes, the cord separates. You're riding along, and suddenly you have no power. The engine revs, the machine doesn't move. You're stranded. Polaris tells you to check your belt for delamination, hourglassing, and glazing. They warn that an old or damaged belt may damage other components in the clutch box, and a worn belt will cause jerky drive-away, false misfire, and accelerated wear of clutch bushings. But here's what they don't tell you. The damage doesn't stop at the belt. When a belt fails, the debris can destroy the clutches. The heat can warp the sheaves. One failure can cascade into thousands of dollars in repairs. The Polaris owners' forums are full of these stories. A 2021 Sportsman 850 owner described a catastrophic failure where the engine got too much dirt/dust in through the filter, causing it to burn oil too fast and hot, and it destroyed the engine rod bearing. No engine lights or anything, just lost power and cut off in span of about 15 minutes. That's a $6,000 to $7,000 repair. But here's what really gets owners. Even when you do everything right, the belt is a consumable. Polaris sells OEM belts designed to run at the optimal RPM and deliver unmatched performance. They claim their belts run cooler than the competition, even at high RPMs. But owners report far shorter lifespans in real-world conditions. One forum member asked about a Cub Cadet CVT issue, and the response about belt tension applies perfectly to Polaris. A longer belt will slip. The belt has to be exactly right. Too tight, and it won't disengage. Too loose, and it slips and burns. There's no margin for error, and the heat problem is real. The Polaris CVT pulls air through ducts to cool the belt. But in mud, water, or deep snow, those ducts clog. The belt overheats, the failure happens, and you're stuck miles from the truck with a machine that won't move. Now pause here. How many belts have you gone through on your Polaris? How many times have you been stranded? Comment below. Lati, hidden failure 2. The front differential that leaks and destroys itself. If you own a Polaris Sportsman or Scrambler for long enough, you will experience this. The front differential seals start leaking. You notice a small puddle under the front end. You ignore it, or you don't notice at all. Then one day, the diff starts making noise. Grinding, howling, something is wrong inside. Here's what happened. The seals failed. Water and dirt got in. The lubricant broke down. The bearings wore out. Now your front differential is damaged, possibly destroyed. The Polaris ATV forum has thread after thread on this exact problem. One owner of a 2016 Sportsman 1000X PHL posted, "Front diff is leaking from the right axle. I've replaced the pinion plate seal before, but I thought these were sealed diffs." The response from another member was brutal. LOL, it is sealed until your seals start leaking. Then it's not so sealed anymore till you replace them. The fix is a bearing and seal kit. Quad Boss sells a front differential bearing and seal kit for $156.99 that fits multiple Sportsman models from 2013 to 2021. The kit contains all of the bearings and seals required to service an ATV/UTV differential, restoring smooth operation and helping prevent leaks and premature wear under demanding riding conditions. But here's the problem. That's just the part's cost. The labor is what really hurts. One forum member asked, "I'm assuming I will have to remove the whole diff and disassemble to do all of this?" The answer, it all depends on how far you want to go. If you want to replace all the seals, then yes, I would remove it. Removing the front differential on a Polaris is not a small job. The entire front suspension has to come apart. The axles have to be pulled. The diff has to be dropped out of the frame. Then you have to split the case, replace all the bearings and seals, and put it all back together. A dealer will charge you $800 to $1,500 for this job. And here's the kicker. Even after you fix it, the new seals will eventually fail too. The design hasn't changed. The problem hasn't been fixed. You're just resetting the clock. I've seen Polaris owners replace front diff seals 3 times on the same machine. Each time, another $1,000. Each time, another week of downtime. It never ends. Now pause here. Has your Polaris developed a front diff leak? How much did it cost to fix? Comment below. Narker Hidden Failure 3. The suspension bushings that wear out in seasons. Polaris ATVs ride beautifully. The suspension is plush. The travel is long. The handling is confidence-inspiring. But that plush ride comes at a cost. The bushings wear out. Fast. Look at the aftermarket. Quad Boss and EPI Performance sell suspension repair kits specifically for Polaris models. The EPI A-arm bushing kit fits Polaris 250 to 700 models from 2004 to 2012 for just $31.67. The description tells you everything you need to know. __quote_13_____. Translation: the factory bushings wear out. You have to replace them. And the aftermarket has stepped in because the OEM parts aren't good enough. The Quad Boss suspension repair kit for the Sportsman 335 uses needle bearing shafts crafted from hardened and precision ground 52100 bearing steel and self-lubricating acetyl nylon bushings that enhance wear resistance and performance. That's what the aftermarket has to do to make Polaris suspensions last. The factory bushings? They're cheap rubber or plastic. They wear out in a season or two. When they wear out, your suspension gets sloppy. The steering gets vague. The handling becomes unpredictable. And the ride quality goes from plush to harsh because the bushings are allowing metal-on-metal contact. And here's the hidden cost. When the bushings wear out, they don't just affect the ride, they affect everything else. Loose A-arms put stress on the shock mounts. They put stress on the ball joints. They put stress on the frame. One worn $5 bushing can cause a $500 failure elsewhere. But Polaris won't tell you that. They'll just sell you another set of factory bushings that will wear out just as fast. Hidden Failure 4. The electrical and sensor nightmare. This is the failure that makes Polaris owners sell their machines for parts. The electrical system. Modern Polaris ATVs are packed with sensors. The diagnostic code list for a 2014 Sportsman 550 EPS runs for pages. Let me read you just some of the codes that can appear. Idle air control, driver circuit grounded or shorted load, starter enable circuit, driver circuit short to B+, all-wheel drive control, driver circuit short to B+, throttle safety, signal, voltage too high, too low, or signal out of range, throttle stuck, active descent control system, driver circuit short to B+. And that's just the beginning. The EPS system alone has over a dozen potential failure codes. Quote, 17, quote, 18, quote, 19, quote, 20. Each sensor is a potential failure point. Each wire is a potential break. Each code requires diagnostic software that only dealers have. Owners are frustrated. One forum user posted recently, __quote, _21__. Another posted, __quote, _22__. They even mentioned having professional diagnostic tools, __quote_23__. Think about that. A Polaris owner needs ECU hacking tools to diagnose their own machine. That's not a hobby, that's a second job. And the problems are endless. Quote 24, quote 25, quote 26. These are not isolated incidents. This is the daily reality of owning a modern Polaris, the parting out epidemic. Here's the most damning evidence. Just search Polaris Sportsman Part Out on any marketplace. You'll find hundreds of listings. Machines being sold for parts because the repair cost exceeds the value. One listing offers a quote 28 for $999. The description reads, quote 29. This is not a rare machine. This is not a collector's item. This is a relatively modern ATV being stripped for parts because the owner couldn't afford to fix it. A throttle position sensor failure. That's all it took. One sensor. And the machine became worth more as parts than as a whole. Another owner posted about a 2008 Sportsman 90 that idles like a dream. As soon as you hit the gas, it pops and bangs like it's up against the rev limiter. That's likely an electrical or fuel delivery issue. It could be simple, it could be impossible. And without the right diagnostic tools, you're guessing. Why Polaris owners keep coming back. Despite all of this, Polaris remains the best-selling ATV brand. Why? Because the ride is incredible. The power is addictive. The features are class-leading. When a Polaris works, it works brilliantly. But the hidden costs are real. The belts, the differential seals, the bushings, the sensors. They add up fast, and they hit hardest after the warranty expires. If you're a Polaris owner, you have to accept that you're buying a subscription to belts, a subscription to seals, a subscription to bushings, a subscription to sensors, a subscription to dealer diagnostics. The initial purchase price is just the entry fee. The real cost is what you pay over time. Now pause here. I want to hear from you. Are you a Polaris owner? How many miles on your machine? What has broken? How much have you spent on repairs? Are you going broke or have you been lucky? Share your stories in the comments. The truth needs to come out. The bottom line, Polaris builds incredible machines. The ride quality is best in class. The power is addictive. The features are impressive. But they are not built to last. They are built to be serviced. Every belt failure is a dealer visit. Every leaking seal is a repair bill. Every worn bushing is a replacement kit. Every sensor fault is a diagnostic fee. The hidden failures are real. The CVT belt that eats itself. The front differential that leaks and destroys itself. The suspension bushings that wear out in seasons. The electrical system that requires dealer-level diagnostics. Polaris owners are going broke. Not because they bought expensive machines, because they bought expensive machines to keep. If you own a Polaris, get familiar with the maintenance schedule. Learn to do the work yourself. Buy the service manual. Buy the specialty tools. Join the forums. Because if you rely on the dealer for every repair, the costs will bury you. If you're thinking about buying a Polaris, go in with your eyes open. You're not buying a machine. You're buying a relationship with a service department. Make sure you can afford it. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and your wallet open. Polaris owners are going broke. Don't be one of them.